Hi, my name is Adam. In this video we will create an EC2 instance over Terraform without default configuration what we generally have in EC2. Every component what we need for the EC2 instance will be created in this Terraform config files and will be removed after them. We start with downloading the command line interface for AWS. For Windows version. Accept. Next install. Why we need the command line interface? The command line interface will be used from the Terraform configuration. In the AWS command line interface, you use an imperative approach. You can do all the steps what we do with Terraform. You can do it your own by AWS command line interface. But we're not following here an imperative approach. The Terraform using a declarative approach. So we have here states and not changing of states. In imperative, it means the AWS command line interface uses a change of states approach. What we have in Terraform is a just state management. This is a big difference. So what we done is already now installed. We can now call AWS configure. To make the configuration, we need a single key from a user, from a logged in user in AWS. In ARM component, you are going to a user, existing user, and to this user you add in security credentials an access key. This is everything. This user has, I show you also the rights what he has. So now create, we don't need a tag now for the beginning. So we can copy here this information you see only this time. So better is you download the file, this CSV file, but we can also use this copy paste the access key. I can show you now my access key because after them, if we are here, we can copy the entire secret key. Will be, if I put the video online, I will already delete this access key, so make no sense to copy and paste somewhere and try to access my account. Will not work. Generally this information you don't show nobody. I'm using US East 1. That is my preferred place. JSON is the format that I'm using. Okay. So AWS is now configured. So Terraform is able now to work. You can now call code. I'm using code for project like this. And here's the README file. You can show the README file in a little bit in markup. So that is our configuration. The configuration, I will not do the Terraform installation. That is just a command line. You can do it yourself. It's not the point. So in this place, you should work already. Terraform. It's working, but you can do it by yourself. The first what we do is generating a key SS key. And this we will do in Cloud Shell. Why not? I will show you now Cloud Shell. It's a funny place. Why cannot delete? Okay, it's empty. So all the files what you make in Cloud Shell for a region, in AWS region, will be stored. So you will use it later also. So SSH keygen. We should use today the type, not RSA type, so we should use 255.19. This is more secure, this type of key, and you can type here your own email address. So we forgot here to type the EG 255. I said all the time something wrong. Yeah, 19. So Timbuktu. This is our key name. And the phrase. You should get used to usage of phrases. You have to enter only one time if you use the key, and it's more secure just to leave it empty. You should not use it empty. So let's see, is our key present? Oh, there's a wrong place. SSH. Oh, move Timbuktu .ssh. Okay, we have no. We have now our key on the correct place with the correct right. This is always very important to have here the right 6, also 600. So nobody else, not a group and not others can access the key, because otherwise is the key not working. So then we can now print out our public key. So it's the same keys, you should not show nobody, but in this video I will show you. I will delete before put everything online. I will delete everything, but I think it's better if you see how the key looks like. It is much shorter as the RSA key. So then we go back now to our project, and we put in the main file the key inside, the public key. The key name is Timbuktu. That's why. So Terraform has the convention of file names. You can use or you cannot use. It's up to you. But I try to use provider. For example, I'm putting in an external file, but should be some people doing in main file. So in main are generally the resources and everything else what you need, except the output and the variables. The variables I have also always in a separate file, and the output also. Output is we should not start with output, we should start with main TF. So in main TF we have the resources, and in order how it, the order is not depending. You can put the resources in order how you want. It's unimportant. Terraform will find out which order should be made the resource. So what we see here is the instance itself, and you see here the number. It's important. It's the size of the instance is T3 small. Is just to see here how it works. And here's the count, how many instances we will use. This is important if you do more than one. And user data is also important. Generally, it's also in default you not enter user data, but it's possible to enter user data. In user data sh.sh we have following. I'm put all the log files in the user data log file and make a link to this file. All the output what the system will install and will print out on the terminal will be written in user data. So we do an update, and we installing here Apache with a host name and the creation time. This is what the instance will start after creation. Terraform AWS will start after creation. So what we have here in main, something else. So generally I'm using tag name because in AWS you can see where the instance coming from. You can enter whatever name you want. The VPC is virtual private cloud. It's everything what the network connection and access security groups are connected to the instance over the VPC. So we have the security group. We open the port 22 to be able to enter to access the SSH connection. So we do this the same now with the port 80. And what we have here, subnet, routing table, and provide the DNS, DHCP connection. So we will have here also a public key, public IP to access the instance from outside. So we go back now to the README file. In the README file, we can see all these commands. Where are the commands? Here are the commands. So generally we do in Terraform the init, validate, plan, apply and destroy. So as first we do the Terraform init. In Terraform init will happen following. The directory .terraform will be created and will be installed the program that is accessing the Terraform AWS version. So this is the version what Terraform uses internally. So what we downloaded from the internet previously to get the access key is only to be able to log in the console, to access the AWS console. But Terraform will use our access key what we entered under the user of this we are duplicating. group, the user. So we can see here the user what right permission. The user should have only administrator access. This is important because otherwise it's not able to control the command line or to execute Terraform commands over the command line. So in the internet you can find a lot of configuration for environment variable for Terraform. It is also possible, but if you see, as you see here, generally is not necessary. Everything what you need is in the AWS directory .avs. Here is our credential what we entered, and in the config you see the region. So under default it's you can have the more than default. Okay. So security credential, that is what we access. Terraform accessing the AWS. So then we go now back to our provider, and you can see in the provider that this version, this Terraform provider version is 5.32.3. It means that the version will be always the highest under, but never the version 6. So we will use HashiCorp AWS provider, but only the version 5.99 or 5.33 or whatever, but never the version 6. So Terraform itself always higher as version 1.6. Terraform version 1.66 we have now, and HashiCorp, you see here the version 5.33, what we have here 5.33. So the provider is also, you can, what in this Terraform, so you have the provider in the config file, but we in Terraform configuration, what we using here will be used US East 1, what you have here in the file. So will be overwritten. What you have here in the config file will be overwritten with this. The next after, so the Terraform we already initiated, and we have here init validate. In validate will be validated all the variables, all the variables what we're using in main will be validated in Terraform validate. Validate. So this success, everything fine. So what we can do as next is, you can see in the description, the next after init validate we can call plan. So we have some error here. We don't use out options save this bar. Terraform. Apply. So we will be asked if we should really create this instance. We should have a look over what we will do here. what we want to do. So what we want to do is we create an instance with all necessary information. We see now here our private instance, private IPs. Public IP will be assigned after creation. So we have here user data, volume size 20 megabyte, a block device will be 20 gigabyte. Our key name is Timbuktu. The SSH key will be transferred here, the public key. And so we transfer always over for SSH, we transfer always public keys. We transfer never private keys. So subnet CCR CIDR block, you see here, will be already defined. And now we can type yes. After yes, Terraform starting to create. You see now the order will define Terraform. So you see here that public group will be used by VPC, so public group must be created first before the VCP will be created. So we see here the server creating. Here you see the tables. Okay, and now we have here the IP, and we can go now to our. This can take time. The instance is already created, means not that the already is accessible. You have no information how long will be created, so I don't know if it's possible to find out when the instance is created, or is any message from AWS that the instance is now ready to use, because in the background now what is running is our user data with all our updates and whatever we done there. So we see here now after a time our call, what we done here in host name and the time from now. So our instance now working. What we can also do from the cloud share, we can now log into the instance. You can log in also from your Windows machine, but now is important that you give here the private key, not the public key. The public key has the server side, and then Ubuntu is our server and the IP. So the fingerprint is yes. Now our phrase, and we are now logged in. What we can see there, we are under the user Ubuntu, because we have an Ubuntu image here. Using an Ubuntu image, Ubuntu images have always the Ubuntu as the default user. We can access all the instances created by AWS only over a private key, public key, private public key. So let's have a look what is in our your user data log. You can see here the first what happened is got the warning stable command line interface whatever, updating, fetching new data. Here the server, here the Apache will be downloaded, the modules and whatever, and finally our echoes in the file for the output, what we have here in our, that you can use on or in any explorer. You can see the problem is that sometimes you have to enter HTTP because not always switching automated from HTTPS to HTTP. So then as next, now we can go back to our instance and let's have a short discussion about file variables. But before we do this, let's stop this, let's destroy the instance. And I do here only output over the public IP, what you can see, and the selected MEI version, what Ubuntu server with the user and so on, to know what is doing, what is happening. We have to also enter here yes, destroy. That's why destroy cancelled. So he will now delete all the components in reverse order. So he's starting with the routing table, and not the routing table. He's starting here with instance. By creating EC2, the last is the instance because everything will be assigned to the instance. By destroying as first the instance because connected components are not possible to delete before as they are in use. So what we forgot to show how it looks in EC2, how it looks in AWS, but we will do this soon. The next, we should now go to our main and let's enter here, for example, account 5 instances. Okay, then let's do again apply. We don't need all the time init and validate. We just need if by minor changes, that's just to see that destroy and apply. So now you see the creating reverse order, now creating the instances. Here creating 0, 1, 2, 4, 3, whatever, not in the order as we entered. So you see here instance list, and we can go now here and enter the IP. So this can take time, as we see. If you call this oft, then you can see the app server is installed, and between the installation and the final page, the original page of the Apache installation. If we do this, here you see the default page from Apache installation, and now we see now here the user data, writing these 2 lines, and this happening very fast, and we see this finally here. So now we can access all the instances, not only this. We can access this here also, and all these instances. You see, this is also here. So we could access over the so we're not locked here out, so that was a little bit actually we have to restart because it's broken. We're not logged out of the previous instance. So we can you can now see we can now check that the new login to our own cloud shell in US East region US East 1 has always still the file then SSH -e Timbuktu private key Ubuntu and one of the IPs. So the question are the same because we are logging the first time our phrases, and you can see again the log file. So what we can check here, if I do here exit and login again, then I wanted to show that is not asking for the phrase, but I don't know why. It's generally is not asking only one time and storing. So you need only a new terminals to enter the phrases, but it could be probably depending on cloud shell. So then what we can now do, we can have a look in EC2. Now here we see now 5 instances. As you see here, the instances, here are the tags what we entered in Terraform. The tag is AWS instance web server. This is our tag, and we can see here the public IP. We could here the public IP address, the public IP version 4, and DNS name. Here is the MEI what we are using. So now we can is an Ubuntu, and we can go to the VPC. In Virtual Private Cloud you will see not so much components because for all our instances will be used the same VPC. with different public IPs. The public IPs are not VPC components. Public IP volumes. Public IPs depending on EC2 instance. Here are the volumes what we are using. The volumes has no tag entered. Generally I use for everything a tag, because finally I can identify what is where is connected volume, not have to look. This volume you can find in our no results. It's not printing out. Everything else is printed out, but not the volume, so it's funny. Anyway, what else is here interesting? Yes, we went through now the main, the user data, the provider, the variable. The variable I have here three variables. Two of them are type maps. You see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are our private IPs for the web server. In the second map, this is something that I always use. I'm using more than one instance type. So if I use an Amazon AMI, then it's the user EC2 user. If you use a Debian, then it's the user admin. This is different all the time to have a look which one now is the CentOS using an EC2 user, but Debian an admin user, and whatever. I put it here, everything together. This information, the AMIs are always region depending. So if you do in another region, or you do as I'm recording now the video still usable, but you should update always before you get using, because the errors that coming out is not really showing you that the AMI is not correct for the region. So, and the usage of this from this map, you can see here the selected AMI. The selected AMI, this is a simple variable. It's not a map variable. Is Ubuntu Server 22. This part, Ubuntu Server 22.4 LTS Ubuntu 4. This text. With this key I will find this AMI, and that's what's happening in the main lookup. Here is our count index, private IP is our private IP from the IPs, and where is our here is our AMI. var is also a lookup. That generally here is only an AMI, but with this lookup function in Terraform you can use function, some built-in function, and the lookup function over a key is able to select the MEI, and the finally result of the lookup is a string, the MEI itself. So finally looks like as here. Only as an MEI, so it's also with in this way. So then apply. Finally we can destroy. That takes not so much money if you just testing around, and finally you see that the instances are deleted. So first you see deleting the instances, and after the connected components. We can have a look over this in EC2, and the instances are already disappeared. Here we see some. Here you see the different states. Here is only the running instances, and you see here the 6 instances what we created, and is already terminated, but is still visible. This is in the last time they changed in a way that is it looks like now it is here in VPC will be also everything disappear. Only one option, this is a default option, this is Amazon provided DNS, will be not deleted, but cost not so much that now we should enter here all the time and delete the default DHCP option set. Everything else will be 0 after a time. So we see here, and you can see in the global view also that what is running and what is not running. You should take care of this before you exit, because it takes cost money. But you see here the 6 instances, no subnet and nothing else, VPCs, everything gone away. These are these instances what we have or what we saw here in deletion. And this is already in the state of terminated state. Is here it's terminated. Yes, so you can see it's terminated. After a while will be disappear, but it's cost then nothing or whatever. You see here with 15-minute launch time. Before 15 minutes we started. Let's point. Okay, so you should use Cloud Shell. It's a funny place. And we have also again the same problem as before, that is broken because we not logged out. And the most important parts are what we used here: EC2, VPC, AIM. We can go now finally to AIM, and under EKS security credential we go to the access key, and now we can simply delete. First we deactivate, we copy from here, and we putting here and deleting. So now the key entered in Terraform in the file in the is useless. So it's make no sense here to copy around from the windows and private key and public key, but generally is not shown. Is useless. I don't know. private IP and lookup. Have a look over. That's all funny places. Output. This is the convention of Terraform. In output, you can see what everything we want to see. Public IPs from the web server and selected AIM with the name. And this is also a function call. Here we have also a join and a function call. Look these functions, how it works, and get in a little bit. This README made in MD format. You can see in preview or in code. It's easy to write. It's for example, if you use code, then is existing a plugin, and if you enter the key Control L and Control V, Control and then you see here both version, and then you can see the para in the same time, and easy to and so I hope it makes fun, and if you have any question, just write to me, and thank you for your time. Bye.